who has been a believer and someone who has not been a believer, and they're in the same age. Yeah. The one who is a believer, they have some sort of, even if they don't have money, they come out on a glow, an extra, they are looking.
Something to possess.
They have something extra that this other person who doesn't know God doesn't have. True. Even if you look at your friends, that someone you knew probably 5 years ago, and then you meet them now and they don't know Christ, there's something off,
Kind of.
Yeah, and that's what I would say grace does. It's not that it covers you from the elements of the world, but it somehow preserves you and your youth, and like someone who doesn't know God. And I liked that because I've looked at a few people who I've talked to, even online. I'm like, huyu ni yeye. Mpaka nafikia mtu, ukishua umeona hiyo picha yake, ukishua ni yeye. Because I'm like, it can't be that person. And I really, really was thankful for grace. But my other thoughts were like, I feel like now we abuse grace more than before. As Christians, we take grace for granted. In terms of, even when you look at how we judge sin, kuna yenye tunaweka juu kama mtu ni drunkard, hiyo ni sawa, and like an adulterer, it seems like an adulterer and fornicators are the worst. Hao ndio hawatabeki. Well, as a drinker, a murderer, a corrupt person, they are,
bangi, corruption,
iko hivi, but
is that, for example, the coverage of women is very low compared to the coverage of men. If you look at the headlines for today, for any newspaper, you'll see the male voices are more than the women voices. When you look at the presidential debates, when you look at a lot of debates that are happening, it's always more about the men. When you talk about the women, when you're celebrating Karua, if you could see the debate that was going on around social media, is the clothes that she wore. Did you see people criticizing why she was dressed like that? Yes. Why is it that when a woman is mentioned, we look at other things? When Gachagua was mentioned, is more professionalism, more about his work, more his capability. But for the woman, it's more about the looks, more about the family. Is she married? Is she a single mother? Or, you know, all those things came into the fore. And that's a kind of gender inequality we are talking about. Let me give you another scenario, especially during politics now. And that is why we have to be alert. We, as the journalists. Remember when Mrs. Modama said that she was vying for a political seat? What did the media do? They went to interview women who are saying she cannot leave because she was fighting with her husband. You remember the story? And what the media, don't be comfortable. Work hard. Network. Don't go Nangoja for 1,000. You know, men, okay, the men in the room, I'm sorry, but you are not like that. Me, I'm going. But you guys know our male police. When I do British a bit, they know. But women are more like human, more responsive, more respect. We hardly ask for corruption money. Yeah? So people look at your work and what you can deliver. What you've done is what they look at. And I was able to demonstrate to that organization that actually I'm a very good journalist. And that's when they said, we'll sponsor you to go to The Hague. When I went to The Hague, I knew about proposal writing. I knew we start an organization and get funded. So I was shown by somebody how to write a proposal. Because I didn't know how to write a proposal, I never even heard about a proposal before in my life. So I go write a proposal about how I do many stories. Then someone tells me, why don't you do a bigger project where we can bring in a group of 20 journalists and then we give them story cards. So I'm like, I don't even know. I was so young, I was like maybe 20 something, very young. I don't know how to do. That time I was not even like experienced, even an experienced writer. I was still struggling to write very well. So I was helped to write a very big proposal. If there's anything I have learned, because when these guys asked me, can you do it? I said, you know, a man will always say, I can do it. Even if they can't, even if they'll steal half of it, they'll still say they will do it. But as women, that one, no, I can't do it. That's how it started. But then I had a mentor, Bettina Ambach. And she told me, you can do it. You can introduce me to the AG of the country. I don't even talk to the AG. I didn't even have his contacts. But she believed I could do it, and she pushed me to do stuff that I didn't believe I could do it. And actually, after I did it, that's when I'm like, actually I can do it. So one of the things we lack as women is that we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in that power. We are not confident about ourselves. And this, for me, is what has made me a successful journalist. And I believe I'm a successful journalist.
Hata kama
because utambii story umeenda na top sijui iko hivi unaambiwa ati hii top tena, you see people now are looking at you, wanaanza kukuangalia, you know, ati you have to go and change to avoid all that, because you know your focus is your work, isn't it?
Hello guys, my name is Abigail Nduku. I'm a sports journalist. This training was very important and very, captivating minds, because as a sports journalist who wants to take over the editorial sports desk that is dominated by male, this training has enabled me or opened my mind that it's not a norm. It's not that everywhere you walk or every media you go that it's the male that are dominating that desk. We can also take over. So with that now I'll go and strengthen my skills and also everything so that I can be able to maneuver in this sector. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Maureen Cherono. I'm a certified digital marketing consultant, very passionate about communication. Now, this training has particularly been very useful for me because I needed to learn how to be safe as a journalist, especially in an environment that is, we could say, particularly hostile towards journalists. And this training has had an impact in such a way to see that I am also responsible for building the culture around journalism and developing the culture that we require in this industry, in the media industry. Also, the particular conversation on sexual harassment, which is actually a predominant theme in the media industry, is very rampant. Given this circumstance, then this training was particularly useful on how we could curb or minimize this particular challenge that we have. Thank you.
Thank you. How was the training for you?
So hi, my name is Dennis Bao. I'm in charge of communications at the Association of Media Women in Kenya. So we've organized this training in partnership with UNESCO to bring together women in community media to develop, to help them hone their skills in terms of digital safety and offline safety, especially at a time where we have elections and we've seen violence against journalists tend to rise during this time. So this is a timely session and we are glad that we could have over 60 journalists joining us on a hybrid session. So the trainers were good and they really delivered on some of the key aspects that we felt that journalists face. So, and according to the feedback we've received, we've seen that the journalists feel that this was really important and they feel that they're more confident to go and do their work and also challenge the norms in the places where they work to improve conditions of where they work, whether it's on harassment, whether it's sexual or any other type of harassment that they may face in their work, and through that we shall be boosting more opportunities for women to rise up the ladder, because we feel that even in management we still have lesser and lesser women occupying these roles. We still have fewer women being news sources. We still have fewer women being given the really important. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you in the next training.
Thank you.